So to graft, you need some basic tools, not very many. I have more here than you probably really need. The first thing that you need is your scion wood or bud wood. You'll notice that ours is clearly tagged with the name of the variety, and that we've tagged each stick separately so that there's no possibility of confusion. If you're only grafting one variety, it's not such a big deal, but because we graft 100 or more every year, it's important. What we use for tagging is plain masking tape and permanent marker, either Sharpie, Jiffy. The brand doesn't matter as long as it is permanent. The color of the tape also doesn't matter. You'll notice that we used plain masking tape for these ones, and I've got green masking tape here. The other thing that you need is a grafting knife. You can use any knife. It doesn't have to be specially made for grafting. This one happens to have been made for grafting. A grafting knife, a special grafting knife, is flat on one side and beveled on the other, so it only has an edge honed on one side. This is a right-handed knife. A left-handed knife would have the bevel on the opposite side. This grafting knife also has a T-bud knife. You use the blade for cutting and this little notch for lifting the bark from the cambium layer. We don't use this very often because we don't do T-bud grafting here. We mostly do whip and tongue and chip bud grafting. The other thing that you need related to the knife is rubbing alcohol. This is just plain rubbing alcohol, and I happen to keep it in a jar. You do need to keep the lid on the jar when you're not using the alcohol. We use the alcohol to clean the knife before we do cuts, and also to clean the secateurs, or the snips that we use. We use the snips to cut the tops off the chip bud grafted rootstock, and also to start to cut both the budwood and the rootstock to do a whip and tongue graft. You also need grafting tape or some other system for attaching the bud, keeping the bud in place, or keeping the scion in place on a whip and tongue. We use poly tape. We like the poly tape because it's easy to break, it stretches, it sticks to itself, so there's no tying involved, and once the tree starts growing or the bud starts bursting, the bud will actually burst through the tape, or the tape will split with the tree growth, and it's easy to just pick up the tape off the growing tree. You don't have to go and unwind everything or untie everything so that to prevent tree strangling. The last item is grafting glove. You can see that I've made my own grafting glove. It's just a regular garden glove. Any glove will do. It's good if it fits well, if it's not too big or not too small. And I've just wrapped duct tape around the thumb and first two fingers, and that's enough to protect your hands from the knife blade when you're grafting. I have grafted without a glove. It's a little nerve-wracking, and you do have to make sure that you're being extra careful and extra safe. I do highly recommend the glove. And that's all you need in order to graft in terms of having the equipment.